I think it's all about like how you show up in your classroom or in your workplace or community, how I show up at school. And I have a pretty strong relationship with both of my sisters. And so if I'm thinking about kind of outside of my kind of professional community, my sisters are both great sounding boards for me and help me kind of work through stuff if I need help. My husband as well, obviously. And then I also have a great group of extended former teachers, right? Like who have now retired from Vanille St. Margaret's, who I still keep in touch with, who are just wonderful support for kind of moving through difficult times or sharing joys with as well.
Well, certainly the people who are friends of mine, the brothers I live with in community, people in my social circle, people in my professional circle, people at the university with whom I'm engaged work-wise and also socially. I mean, they provide the kind of support and encouragement that I need on my down days. I learn from them. I remember when I was a young teacher, I would ask older brothers hints for what they did in a classroom that would work, or when you run into a student who's particularly difficult, what are some ways that I might try to reach him or her? And I found certainly people with more experience than I have a lot to share, and I tried to take advantage of that.
I think the ultimate goal for me in the work that I do with young people is building community. And so I use as an example the community of brothers that I live with. And so thinking about how am I engaging with them? Am I engaging with them? Because sometimes it's not even the question of how, it's just the question of am I? And asking myself and challenging myself, if I'm not engaging, why not? And how do I get back on track with that? Whether I agree with them or not, how do I get back into community with them?
You know, for example, I've just been asked to come and talk to a group of graduating seniors down at our university in Memphis. And what I've learned is my first thing to do is to call a few other people that I know, a couple other people, to say, hey, I got to do this. Can I come and talk to you? And I'd like to jog your idea. Let's talk about this together. It's like God gives each of us a piece of the truth. And the only way we can come closer to the whole truth is we come together.
I think the nature of the relationships I have with anyone affects who I am as a human being, who I am as a teacher, who I am as an administrator, who I am as a Christian, who I am as a brother. So I think they are all interrelated. This whole theme that we're talking about of relationality and relationship, and that God is present in and through those relationships, I would like to think that permeates everything I do, at least on my good days.
So when I first joined the Brothers, I was already a teacher, so I kind of had that skill, I mean, not down, but after 3 years of teaching in high school, you kind of get it, you kind of know. And so I remember when I, decided, I would try this and move in with the Brothers and check it out. Went to a new place, new community, obviously community life was new to me, the school was new. But what a difference it made to know that I have this group of guys that I could come home to, that we share dinner and prayer with, that somehow it just made that such a rich experience. So I began to understand the power of community, true community.
I challenge my students to do the same thing. When they have a relationship in their life that's not going well, whether it is with a parent, a teacher, a sibling, a friend, the conversation centers around how do we mend this relationship? And how am I as a person growing in that relationship? And I think it ultimately comes back to our relationships here, reflect our relationship with God,